Hi everyone, good day. So last meeting, we have discussed the 7 types of curricula operating to every teacher's classroom. So this meeting, we are going to discuss the teacher as a curricularist as our lesson number 3 because it is very necessary for us to learn deeper and broader about the role of the teacher in relation to the school curriculum. So still, we are guided with the learning outcomes under Module 1 or Unit 1. The learning outcome number 2, which is to enhance understanding of the role of the teacher as a curricularist in the classroom and school. So class, this lesson will bring all of us to an enhanced understanding and realization of the multifaceted role of the teacher which relate to the curriculum. Okay, so let's find out what are the different roles of teachers as curricularists. Okay? So there are 7 roles of teachers as curricularists. But before we will discuss each role, we will first unlock what do you mean by curricularist? So who is a curricularist class? So we say curricularist class, it is a professional who is a curriculum specialist. So the shortcut for curriculum specialist class is curricularist. It is from Hayes 1991, Orstein and Hankins 2004, Hewitt 2006. And another definition of curricularist class is a person who is involved in curriculum knowing, writing, planning, implementing, evaluating, innovating, and initiating. So now, we have defined what is a curricularist or who is a curricularist. So this time, we are going to discuss the 7 roles of teacher as a curricularist. So class, as curricularist, puhon, the teacher as a curricularist knows the curriculum, writes the curriculum, plans the curriculum, initiates the curriculum, innovates the curriculum, implements the curriculum, and lastly, evaluates the curriculum. So that is what a teacher do to deserve the label as curricularist. So that's why we also have here the roles of teachers as a curricularist. So we say teacher as a curricularist, he is automatically the knower of the curriculum because he knows the curriculum. He or she is a knower of the curriculum. Then, the teacher writes the curriculum, so automatically, he or she is a writer of the curriculum or writer. Then, teacher as a curricularist is a planner, an initiator, an innovator, an implementer, and lastly, an evaluator of a curriculum. So this time, class, we will discuss one by one the role of teacher as a curricularist. So first, we have here the teacher as a knower of the curriculum. So when we say class, teacher as a knower of a curriculum as one of his or her roles as a curricularist is that the teacher as the learner, of course, we are also called learners class even we are teachers because we also learn from you, our students. So the teacher as the learner starts with knowing about the curriculum, the subject matter, or the content because learning begins with knowing, class. So the teacher as a learner starts with knowing about the curriculum, the subject matter, or the content. So as a teacher, one has to master what are included in the curriculum. It is all about acquiring academic knowledge, like what is there in our illustration class. Both formal or the disciplines or logic or informal derived from experiences, vicarious and unintended. So it is the mastery of the subject matter. So it is one of the um characteristic of a teacher class you are an effective teacher if you have the mastery of the subject matter. Why? How can you teach? What do you teach if you don't have any mastery of the subject matter? Okay, so that is the teacher as a knower of the curriculum. The next, we have here the teacher as a writer of the curriculum. So we say the teacher as a writer of curriculum class, or the teacher writes the curriculum. A classroom teacher takes record of knowledge concepts, subject matter of content. So this needs to be written or preserved. So the curriculum should be written or preserved. So the teacher writes books, writes lesson plans, modules, laboratory manuals, instructional guides, and reference materials in paper or electronic media as our curriculum writer or reviewer. So like what we have there in our presentation, the illustration, as what you have observed, the teacher writes her lesson plan. So in that way, we can say the teacher is a writer of the curriculum, or the teacher writes the curriculum. So most of our teachers are author of books. So like what we have in our modules. So all of our modules are prepared and written by our different faculty in the main campus for the college. And for the basic education, we also have faculty from UV Dalagati who wrote the or prepared the modules in the senior high school. So in that way, teachers can be viewed as a writer of the curriculum. Then the third role of teacher as a curricularist class is teacher as a planner of curriculum. So, when we say teacher as a planner of curriculum class, the teacher of course makes yearly, monthly, or daily plan, lesson plan of the curriculum. Sometimes the word itself, plan, lesson plan, we are going to plan everything that we need to teach inside our classroom and every day. So, teacher as a planner of the curriculum, a good curriculum has to be planned. We cannot teach if we don't plan our different subjects to be taught. So it is the role of the teacher to make a yearly, monthly, or daily plan of the curriculum, especially in the public school class. We are required to write daily lesson plan in the public school. Then, this will serve as a guide in the implementation of the curriculum. So it is very important to have a plan, or we need to make a plan yearly, monthly, or daily, because it serves as a guide in the implementation of the curriculum. Because how can we be guided in the teaching learning process if you don't have a plan on what to do in that certain day? So the teacher takes into consideration several factors in planning a curriculum. So these factors include the learners, of course. So we need to um, consider our learners. Who are our learners? Because our learners are very diverse in their different ways. The support material, we need to consider what are the materials available. So we need to consider that in planning our curriculum. And also the time. Is it okay for that certain time? Sakto ra ba ana nga time, or we need to make adjustment of the time? Subject matter or content, the desired outcomes. So we need to consider, of course, because we are now in the outcomes based education, we need really to consider and align everything in our outcomes, the context of the learners, among others. So by doing this, the teacher becomes a curriculum planner. Okay, so that is the third role of teacher as a curricularist, which is as a planner of the curriculum. Then the fourth role is that the teacher as an initiator of the curriculum. So we say class teacher as initiator of the curriculum. A transformative teacher will never hesitate to try something novel and relevant. So once we are teachers, we need to be open-minded, try everything that is for the good of the learners. So when you say teacher as initiator of the curriculum, the teacher is obliged to implement the new curriculum recommended by educational agencies. So before the K to 12, our um, curriculum is what we call BEC and RBEC, the basic education curriculum and the revised basic education curriculum. And pag abot og 2012 class, it was changed to EBEC, which is the K to 12. So as teachers, we are really obliged and it is our responsibility to implement the new curriculum from RBEC to EBEC or the K to 12. So um, we need to follow what is recommended in our educational agency. So, kung naghimo sila og new curriculum which is the K to 12, of course, as professional teachers or teachers, we need to implement what is recommended by the agency. So in cases where the curriculum is recommended to the schools from DepEd, TESDA, CHED, UNESCO, UNICEF, or other educational agencies for improvement of quality education, again, the teacher is obliged to implement that kind of curriculum. So the implementation of a new curriculum requires the open-mindedness of the teachers. We need to be open-minded to implement whatever curriculum that is new in our educational system, and the full belief that the curriculum will enhance learning. So there will be many constraints and difficulties in doing things first. Of course, in the first year of implementing the K to 12, of course, there are many difficulties and constraints that are faced by the teachers, the administrators, principals, and even the students. But however, a transformative teacher will never hesitate to try something novel and relevant. So, if we are transformative, effective, efficient teachers, we will never hesitate to try something novel and relevant class. Basta nakakabuti yan sa mga estudyante, wala tayong masamang ginagawa kundi nakakabuti lang sa mga estudyante. So that is the fourth role of teacher as a curricularist. Then the fifth role of teacher as a curricularist is teacher as innovator of curriculum. So when I say teacher as innovator of curriculum class, an excellent teacher is creative. Of course, we are very creative in our own ways. We need to come up many ideas and innovate things. And innovator of the curriculum as what I've said. So, creativity and innovation are hallmarks of an excellent teacher class. So a curriculum is always dynamic. So when we say dynamic, it keeps on changing. So as teachers, we need to change our strategies, ways of doing, blocks of time, ways of evaluating, kinds of students and skills of teachers. One cannot find a single eternal curriculum that would perpetually fit. So as an excellent teacher, we need to change everything because um, the only thing that is constant in this world is change. So nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. So a good teacher therefore innovates the curriculum and thus becomes a curriculum innovator. The next role of teacher as a curricularist is as an implementer of curriculum. So we say class teacher as implementer of curriculum. The teacher gives life to the curriculum by teaching, of course, guiding and facilitating the learning in the teaching learning process. So the curriculum that remains recommended or written class will never serve its purpose. That's why the teacher needs to play his or her role as an implementer by implementing, of course, the curriculum. So, as mentioned previously, at the heart of schooling is the curriculum. So, it is the role where the teacher becomes the curriculum implementer. The teacher is at the height of an engagement with the learners, of course, with support materials in order to achieve the desired outcome. So, it is where teaching, guiding, facilitating skills of the teacher is expected to the highest level. So it is here where teaching as a science and an art will be observed. So it is here where all the elements of the curriculum will come into play The success of a recommended, well-written, and planned curriculum depends on the implementation of the curriculum, of course, with the teacher and the learners. And the last role of teacher as a curricularist is teacher as an evaluator of the curriculum. So when we say class teacher as an evaluator of curriculum, of course, the teacher assesses the learner's outcomes, whether it is achieved or those are achieved or not. So how can one determine if the desired learning outcomes have been achieved? Is the curriculum working? Does it bring the desired results? What do outcomes reveal? So are the learners achieving? Are there some practices that should be modified? Should the curriculum be modified, terminated, or continued? So these are some of the few questions that need the help of a curriculum evaluator, and is in this since the person is the teacher as an evaluator. So those are the 7 different roles of teachers as curricularists. Then the 7 different roles are those which a responsible teacher does in the classroom every day. Can you imagine, class? 2 years from now, these are the different roles that you need to play every day inside your classroom. You are a knower of the curriculum, writer of the curriculum, planner of the curriculum, initiator of the curriculum, innovator, implementer, and evaluator. So these are the different roles that we need to play inside the classroom every day. So doing this multifaceted work, it qualifies a teacher to be a curricularist. Then please take note, class, that to be a teacher is to be a curricularist, even if a teacher may not equal the likes of John Dewey, Ralph Tyler, Helda Taba, or Franklin Babbitt. But as a curricularist, a teacher will be knowing, writing, implementing, innovating, initiating, and evaluating the curriculum in the school and the classrooms, just like the role models and advocates in curriculum and curriculum development who have shown the way. So I hope, class, you have learned the 7 roles of the teacher as a curricularist, in addition to what we have learned last meeting, the 7 types of curricula. Thank you so much. Good day and God bless.